welcome to Chapmanville Regional High School, where we're in the middle of pregame invocation and the national anthem coming your way. We're going to step aside for a quick break and be back with the start of tonight's broadcast right after this, as you're watching Chapmanville Tiger basketball action and listening right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Accidents, illness, heart attacks, strokes. When an emergency strikes, count on Logan Regional Medical Center. We're here providing emergency care 24/7, including the higher levels of emergency heart care found in our accredited chest pain center, and our enhanced cleaning, mask requirements, and social distancing to help keep you safe. Emergency care at Logan Regional Medical Center. When minutes matter, count on us.
Community strong. We are Thornhill Ford Lincoln, your hometown dealer located on 119 near Chapmanville. Go Thornhill and expect the best with total value, support, and savings on your next vehicle. Don't miss out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and thornhillford.net.
I'm Stuart Caldwell. For more than 40 years, I and my firm have vindicated the rights of individuals hurt by defective drugs, defective chemicals, and other products. Now I'm teaming with Booth to take on the big drug companies to vindicate the rights of children born with NAS. There are significant legal proceedings that could affect you and your child's legal rights.
If you're the parent or guardian of a child who you believe was born dependent on opioids, you need to act now.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs sent you.
I'm your 70-pound St. Bernard puppy, and my lack of impulse control is about to become your problem.
No, come on. I saw you eating poop earlier. My focus is on the road, and that's saving me cash with DriveWise.
Always here for you, Thornhill GM Superstore. Expect the best. Get even more with our new Thornhill Value Plus warranty. 10 years, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on most all vehicles. Get in on all the savings. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and ThornhillGMSuperstore.com.
Welcome back, everyone, and good evening from Danny Gobby Gymnasium in Chapmanville, West Virginia. Chris Kidd and Joe Linville here with you this evening. Joe Mounts, our engineer on Video Productions, with Terry Buckley back in the WVOW studios. And Joe, game number 1 for Wyoming East. Chapmanville coming off of a loss to number 1 ranked Polka, but showed themselves very impressively in that first game, a very scrappy ball club.
You know, with the group that Coach Brad Napper had to regroup with. I mean, what talent he lost from last season. I thought the Tigers looked pretty good, especially against the number 1 team in the state.
Yeah, now they get another crack against the team that is looking to go places after a 7-17 year last year. Wyoming East team with a lot of experience on their side, and that leads us to our Logan Regional keys to the game. What do you see as the big key here tonight for Chapmanville, Joe?
I think Chapmanville's got to control the ball and get those offensive rebounds. That was the key earlier, you know, in the last season especially, and I think that's going to be a key tonight. Get those offensive rebounds and get those second chance shots.
Well, those are your keys to the game, brought to you by Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you. And here now for the call of the play-by-play tonight is Joe Linville. Take it away, Joe.
Thank you very much, Chris. And it's unusual to come to Chapmanville and they're not hanging off the rafters.
Oh, no.
You know, with the COVID protocol, there's probably about 30% capacity or whatever in the gymnasium tonight. So we are getting ready. Instead of the tip, the inbound by the visiting team, and Wyoming East will control the ball as the Warriors will inbound it. It'll be Garrett Mitchell outside. He'll get the ball into Tucker Cook. Cook brings the ball across the timeline, back to Cook across the way to Mitchell. Mitchell down to the corner to York. York takes a couple dribbles. Then he bounce passes it into Chandler Johnson. Johnson can't hit it off the glass. Turnover already by Chapmanville as they got the rebound started down the floor, and it looks like it's going to be an easy 2 off the glass by Tanner Whitten.
Again, you see the size already on the inside. Going to be very tough for Chapmanville tonight, not having people like Obina and Chile killing in the middle.
Devin Workman brings the ball down the floor for the Tigers. He controls it between the circles. Over to Butcher, back to Workman. Down to the corner to Smith. He thought about it. Little bounce pass to the corner. to Butcher. Butcher gets it back out to the top of the key to Workman. Workman takes a couple bounces. He goes off the glass, overshoots the basket. Rebound Chapmanville off the glass, and Colton Craddock puts the first points on the board for the Tigers.
And he was scoreless the other night against Polka, but he can fill it up in a hurry, Joe.
Full court pressure being shown by the Tigers as they've got the Warriors trying to beat that press. Here they go into the bucket, and we have a whistle and a foul. Okay, it's going to be charged against Brody Dalton. That'll be his first foul of the game.
And again, this is a Chapmanville club, maybe doesn't have the sizes in years past, but they're quick, they're scrappy, and they're going to get after it. And they caused Polka a lot of trouble with this pressure the other night, albeit Polka got some transition baskets. Chapmanville got their fair share of turnovers.
Ball is inbounded. They bring it out and back in, and here goes, and it's actually blocked by Chapmanville's Trey Butcher on the quick turnaround down the floor. Once again, they've had a couple shots. Now their third shot off the glass this time. It will be Chapmanville's. I don't have a 12 on my roster.
No, that was Brody Dalton that got that basket.
I had him down as 14. Thank you. And quickly, Chapmanville takes advantage of a turnover by Wyoming East. They bring the ball back down the floor, pass it around the arc, get it down into the corner, into the paint, little short jumper, and it's Dalton once again on the shot.
And he was very effective the other night, Joe. 22 points against Polka, had 20 of those in the second half. He really got cooking and is going to be the catalyst on offense.
He's already got 4 points here tonight. Here goes Wyoming East, wide open, and they beat the press as Tanner Whitten takes one down for 4 points for him in the ball game for the Warriors. Chapmanville controls the ball. Spread it out. Here we go once again. Jumper by Butcher or Dalton. It's off the back of the rim. Rebound brought down by Craddock. Back to the corner, and it's going to be a two-pointer by Isaiah Smith.
And he had 13 points the other night against Polka. He had 3 3-pointers. That corner three is his specialty going back to last year.
Full court pressure once again being shown by the Tigers. Tigers wearing white tonight, trimmed in orange and black. And they quickly get it in, and he's under the basket. Wyoming, they have to kick it back outside. 3-point shot off the glass, rebounded by Chapmanville's Brody Dalton. Here comes the Tigers once again. Control the ball, Craddock. It's stripped, and it's taken in by Whitten. Garrett Mitchell brings the ball down the floor. Intercepted by Whitten, back out to Mitchell. They try to spread it out on the offensive end of the floor. Now controlling the ball is Tucker Cook. Tucker takes a couple dribbles. He gets it in to Chase York. York was going for the basket, and we have a whistle.
And they're going to get a charge on that on York running over top of Workman. And it's just those little things right there, Joe, that Chapmanville is going to have to pay more attention to and be more specialized in. But Brad Napper coaches defense just as much as anything on this roster, maybe even more so. And you're going to see them play really difficult defense against some really good offenses this year.
Chapmanville on top, 8-4, 4:38 to go here in the first period. Chapmanville brings the ball down the floor. Colton Craddock has it for the Tigers. Gets it over to Smith, back to Craddock. Over across the way to Isaiah Fleming, who's checked into the game. Now it will be Craddock going to the bucket off the glass. He overshoots it, gets his own rebound, overshoots it once again. Rebound, Tanner Whitten, Wyoming East, and here comes the Warriors.
You can still sense that Craddock's still a little bit edgy, a little bit jumpy out there. He's got so much athleticism and quickness. Just needs to settle down and play the game that he knows how to play.
Ball controlled by Cook. And there's going to be maybe a jump up. The ball's loose, and we get a jump ball out at just off the arc on the Warrior end of the field. Possession arrow goes to the Tigers.
And there's another instance of that pressure defense and that hustle, Joe, that Chapmanville was able to execute against Polka. And this team being so young, so freshman and sophomore laden, they've shown a lot of maturity thus far in the first 5 quarters of this season.
Ball inbounded by Dalton to Craddock. They bring it down the floor. They got it in the corner. Now they get it back out to the top of the key. Here comes Craddock. He thinks about it, spins it the other way into the hands of Dalton. Dalton takes a spin, a couple bounces. He's going to the basket. Short jumper, and he'll sink it for 2.
Man, he is so tough, and he is using that jab step and that reach so effectively with that fall away right now. It's going to be a pinpoint shot for him throughout this year.
Pressure once again being shown by the Tigers, and they get it open under the basket. Easy, too, for Tanner Whitten as he's wide open in the lane.
And he's got all 6 thus far for the Warriors. That was a great back cut to get behind Fleming for that layup.
Tigers back on their end of the floor. Into the hands of Smith, back to Craddock, now across the way. They get it into the hands of Butcher looking for some help, gets it out to Craddock, spins it around the other way. Fleming thought about taking a shot, gets it back out. There's a reset. Fleming and Craddock just kind of back and forth. Now they get it into the hands of Dalton and a whistle on the floor.
They're going to get Chandler Johnson, the senior, on that reach-in on Brody Dalton. And you can tell already that Wyoming East paying more attention to Dalton after he's gotten off to this quick start with 6 points in the first quarter. They realize that the offense is going to run through him, but Chapmanville much more patient in the offensive set this year as opposed to the last several years, trying to prevent turnovers and set up good shots.
3 fouls already committed by, or actually 2 committed by the Warriors. Chapmanville inbound to get it out to Dalton. And a long three-point attempt off the back of the rim by Fleming. Rebound, Chapmanville.
That was a great rebound there by Smith.
Chapmanville takes around the horn into the hands of Craddock. Back and forth. He takes a couple bounces. And it was Devin Workman thinking about it. Once again, over on the far side, Fleming takes it for the three-point shot off the rim. Rebound, Warriors. Here come the Warriors. Chase York bringing the ball down the floor. And a reach-in foul will be charged against Chapmanville's Colton Craddock.
Yeah, he tried to strip him from behind as he went by that reach-around strip, but caught his elbow instead on that. But again, I like the aggressiveness of this Chapmanville defense.
East brings the ball in front of the scorers table. Into the hands of Mitchell, who has control of the ball. Now they once again get it into Whitten. Whitten's trying to find some room. He brings it back out between the circles to reset the offense for Wyoming East. Chase York now has control of the ball, takes it, going for the basket, and he had to stop short. The ball is short off the front of the rim. Rebound East. Now they'll reset it, and they'll take a three-point shot by Garrett Mitchell from the far side. He'll miss it. Once again, they get their own rebound. They make another three-point shot, and we get a jump ball call. I thought that whistle was a little quick, but it looks like the possession arrow go to Wyoming East.
And give Chase York a lot of credit there, Joe. He crashed the boards twice, kept that possession alive multiple times for Wyoming East, now getting the ball on the inbound.
East will get it in, and it's stolen by the Tigers. It is Dalton coming up with the ball. Now here comes Devin Workman bringing the ball down the floor for the Tigers. Into the corner once again to Craddock. He takes a couple drill, gets it over across the way to Smith. Back out, now back into the hands of Smith across the way. Now they get it back into the hands of Fleming across the way, or Butcher rather. Shot is missed, but it's rebounded by Chapmanville's Craddock. And there again, those offensive rebounds have paid off so far for the Tigers.
Yeah, again, Colton Craddock crashing the boards that time. And just whenever you're not finding your shot, you're not finding your rhythm on offense, you got to do the little things. Take a charge, get an offensive rebound, crash the boards on defense, get yourself into the game, get yourself asserted.
Here goes Chapmanville with a three-point that gets to go. It's going to be a rebound by the Warriors, number 24, Tanner Whitten. Whitten has control of the ball. They get it into the hands of Cook. Cook now out between the circles. Back to York. York over to Mitchell. Mitchell unloads a three-pointer off the glass, and it's rebounded by Workman for the Tigers. Here he comes, bringing the ball down the floor. Across the way to Butcher. Butcher shoots it across the floor to Smith. Back out to Craddock. Across the way into the hands of Workman. And on the throwaway pass, it's a turnover for the Tigers as the Warriors bring the ball back down the floor. Once again, it is Tanner Whitten with the control. He unloads a three. It will not go. A rebound off the fingertips of a Tiger. Then it's rebounded by Chase York, and its ball still won't go. They had 3 shots. Now it goes out of bounds. That should be Chapmanville Tiger basketball.
Man, and all the work that Chase York did on that possession, he absolutely got robbed.
He could not buy a basket.
That ball got 3/4 of the way down and popped out on him.
I mean, that was like a 2-foot shot. He was right under the basket, and it would not go.
I told you they got to get whatever it is that's up there, that grease off the rims. Chase York, man, he's really been tough underneath, but right now he just cannot buy a bucket.
Zion Blevins checks into the lineup for the Tigers. Now the Tigers get it over to Smith, back out to Workman. Now to the near corner to Blevins. Now they get it back away. Smith thought about unloading on the three. He pulls it back, resets it, dribbles by Workman. Now he gets it over to Smith. Smith gets it into the hands of Dalton in the lane. They take a shot. It will not go. Here comes the Warriors with the rebound, and it looks like York once again cannot buy a basket. He tried a backhand layup. It would not go. Tigers rebound. Here come the Tigers, try to go, and we're out of time at the end of the first quarter of play. The score, Chapmanville 10, the Wyoming East Warriors 6. You're listening to Chapmanville Tiger Basketball on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports station and video productions.
To Total Savings starts here. Thornhill GM Superstore. Find new roads to 119 in Chapmanville, your hometown full-service Buick, Chevy, GMC dealer. We are professional grade and community strong. Expect the best and save thousands with Thornhill.
Accidents, illness, heart attacks, strokes. When an emergency strikes, count on Logan Regional Medical Center. We're here providing emergency care 24/7. Including the higher levels of emergency heart care found in our accredited chest pain center, and our enhanced cleaning, mask requirements, and social distancing to help keep you safe. Emergency care at Logan Regional Medical Center. When minutes matter, count on us.
Always here for you, Thornhill GM Superstore. Expect the best. Get even more with our new Thornhill Value Plus warranty. 10 years, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on most all vehicles. Get in on all the savings. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and ThornhillGMSuperstore.com.
Back to Danny Godby Gymnasium on the campus of Chapmanville Regional High School. The Tigers lead the Wyoming East Warriors by a score of 10-6 here at the end of the first period.
And not the prettiest shooting quarter that we've seen, Joe, but both teams very aggressive on the defensive end, both doing a great job on the offensive boards right now, and just trying to find more offense, because Tanner Witten, the only one to score for Wyoming East, with 6 points. Brody Dalton with 6 of the 10 for Chapmanville. Whoever can step up and be the secondary scorer is going to make a huge difference in this game.
Tigers have control of the ball as Workman brings it across the way. Now they get it under the basket, but there's a lot of defense there, so they get it back outside. Workman now controls it after it's into the hands of Craddock. Back around the horn once again to Isaiah Smith. Back to Workman. He thought about taking a three. Back into the hands of Colt Craddock back in. It's going to be Smith that unloads the three. It's not going to go, and it's rebounded by York for the Warriors. Now they Hail Mary the pass down the floor into the hands of Whitten, and he cannot make it go. Rebound by Garrett Mitchell. Second chance shot. It will not go. Here come the Tigers. Brody Dalton with control of the ball. Now we have a whistle on the floor, double dribble on Chapmanville, as Zion Blevins tried to spin and get it up to the basket, but he just kind of lost the handle there for a split second.
Yeah, and he had a block there on the other end to prevent that layup. Got back down the floor again. 6'6" freshman, 180 pounds. Again, he's going to be a good ball player. Had 10 points the other night against Poca. Showed off a lot of athleticism, a lot of really good fundamentals for a freshman.
Here come the Warriors. Tigers once again showing that full court pressure. Mitchell into the hands of Cook, back across the way to York. York thought about it. Now we get a three-point shot attempt by Cook. It will not go. Rebound will bounce, and it goes out of bounds, and they're saying the Tigers touched it before it went out.
Yeah, I believe that time it was Mitchell that got his hand on it, and it deflected off a Tiger. Wyoming's doing a great job at just deflecting balls, getting hands in on these rebounds, contesting everything on Chapmanville.
Tucker Cook controls it as he gets it over to Mitchell. Back out to York at the top of the key. Over to the near side to Mitchell. Tanner Whitten. He's going to the basket off the glass. It will not go, and we have a whistle. Looks like it's going to be Craddock for his second foul.
Yeah, again, that time just Mitchell, or Whitten rather, was able to get position on that left block and got the baseline, and really nothing that Craddock could do except for hack him and force him to go to the line and earn it.
And Whitten will go to the line to shoot two, and he makes the first one. He has all 7 points so far for the Warriors.
And again, he's done a great job on the rebounding as well, but again, Wyoming East still not able to find any other scoring except for Whitten, and this is a team that can definitely fill it up once they get into a rhythm. Just haven't been able to find good looks on the offensive end just yet.
2 for 2 from the free throw line as the Tigers lead it 11-7. Here come the Tigers with the ball. Workman with it over on the far wing. Now they kick it back out to Butcher. Butcher to the near side to Smith. Smith back over to Workman down to the corner to Butcher. Butcher back out to Smith. Couple dribbles by Workman. Now they get it into the hands of Butcher. Shot will not go. Rebound. It'll be with the Warriors. Bringing the ball down the floor. Here comes Whitten and Mitchell back and forth. Mitchell has control of the ball. Now they get it over to York. He's going for the basket once again. Off the glass. It will go. And a charge. Being charged against Chase York. That'll be his second personal.
Man, the tough luck just continues for Chase York tonight. He finally gets one to go and then gets whistled for the late charge call. And they've got the score wrong here in the gym right now. It is 10-8 Chapmanville. I'm guessing they put 1 point wrong, and I think P.D. Clemens is fixing that down at the scores table.
Chapmanville controls it. Workman has it. Now he gets it over to teammate Smith, who shoots it back out between the circles to Butcher. From the corner, it is Butcher. The shot off the rim, rebound Chapmanville. They get a second chance, and it'll be Isaiah Smith drills it for a three for the Tigers.
Again, they can't leave him open at the Wyoming East. Again, he's such a good touch shooter, can have the range from anywhere, and he can fill it up in a hurry.
The Warriors will take a timeout. We'll take a quick timeout as well. 5:35 to go in the second quarter. Chapmanville 14, Wyoming 8. You're listening to Tiger Basketball on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports station and video productions.
Peyton, what are we doing here?
Welcome to Peytonville. Nationwide helps protect everything you see in here, Brad. Every family, every business, even Mrs. Hoffman's dream of retiring to become a yoga instructor.
Oh, they have backstories.
Here, I got more to show you.
Kinzel Law Office is a local firm located at 36 Adams Street in Chapmanville. Rob Kinzel has been practicing law in Logan County for over 15 years and is dedicated to providing quality legal representation for personal injury, criminal defense, and family law for individuals and families throughout southern West Virginia. Call Kinzel Law Office today to set up your free consultation. Rob Kinzel, quality legal services close to home.
Back at Chapmanville on the inbound, the Wyoming East Warriors took the ball down the floor and scored on a Tucker Cook shot. Now the Tigers have it as they working around the horn. Currently it is Workman with the ball, and a shot once again by Isaiah Smith. He drills back-to-back threes for the Tigers.
Now I told you there, Joe, that one was a good 4 feet behind the three-point line. Wyoming East going to have to extend the defense and find somebody to get on him because he's going to burn them all night if they don't.
The Warriors beat the Chapmanville defense. Now they get it under the basket to the big boy, Witten. He'll go to the basket and for two.
He's into double figures now with 10. So he is the main catalyst on this end, but now they got to find an answer for Smith.
Smith got his hands on it. He thought about it. Now they get it down in the corner. Butcher's in trouble. He is double teamed. He has the ball stripped by the Warriors. Here come the green and white back down the floor. Tanner Witten is fouled. It looks like it's going to be charged against Isaac Butcher, and it is Butcher's first personal in the ball game.
And Butcher got his money's worth on that foul. He knew Witten had him positioned deep down low and just had nowhere to go but to hack him, and Witten took a little punishment on that as he goes to the line.
First shot by Witten is good. He's 3 for 3 so far.
And now it's Chapmanville 16, Tanner Witten 11.
Yeah.
With 2 points for Cook on the other end of it. But again, he's keeping Wyoming East right here in this contest despite the struggles on offense.
Drops his percentage to 75% on that one after he misses it. Tiger has the ball. As Dalton thought about going to the lane, and we have a whistle and a push. I believe that may be charged against that 42.
Yeah, Mason Hauk or Hoke?
Hauk.
That was right first time.
Yeah. His first personal. Little quick pass play, nice one, but it's blocked by Witten right under the basket as Butcher tried to put one up. Now the Warriors have it back down on their end of the floor. Tanner Witten putting on a little dribbling expedition out there for the fans. Now it's Mitchell. He'll take a jumper just off the free throw line. Rebound by Chapmanville. Dalton, and here come the Tigers. Over the corner, Workman thought about it. Now they get it back outside the arc, and a big spin. And, wow, what a move by Chapmanville's Dalton. He just spun that one. Seemed like he kept going and finally got it to go.
Yeah, those long strides with those pivot feet are going to be deadly. We saw him really punish Poca with that the other night in the second half.
Warriors have it. Witten's thinking about it. He's going to the basket. and he goes up and over a couple Tigers. It will be off the rim, rebound, Chapmanville.
Yeah, he was expecting contact there, Joe, and everyone just kind of pulled the chair out from under him, and once he got there, he was just so off balance, he didn't have a good look.
And here goes Smith unloading once again. It is nothing but net from behind the arc.
Wow, again, he is just red hot right now. 30-second timeout for Wyoming East. That's 3 threes for Smith this quarter. He had 3 threes against Polka, and now 11 points. So again, once Brody Dalton gets cooking, then that opens things up with the outside game, and you see them just playing off each other right now. Dalton with 8, now Smith with 11, and if you're Wyoming East, you got to close out on Smith better than that. He's just been wide open on these 3 looks that he's knocked down.
Yeah, just on this last couple minutes, Chapmanville jumped out to a 21-13 lead, and like you said, it's they've just opened that inside or outside up for Smith, and he is hot right now.
Yeah, and the way that Brody Dalton can attack on the interior there, I mean, those 2 steps he took to the rim look like NBA strides. I mean, he just uses that pivot foot so well to maneuver around again, and I'd say a lot of that got better playing quarterback this past season, just with his footwork ability, and just with being as tall as he is and as agile as he is, he's going to be a nightmare for post defenders to try and match up with.
Officials for tonight's contest is Jim Bailey, Jim Stratton, and Alan Settle. Warriors will inbound it under the Chapmanville basket, and Tigers once again go back to work on defense. Full court pressure. They get it in. They're still under a lot of pressure. Warriors still have it on their end of the floor. Now they get it across the timeline. Tigers, here they go. It looks like it's going to be Mitchell. He thought about going to the basket. The hole closed up by the defense. Pulls it back out, reset outside. It's going to be Witten taking a shot at the three-pointer off the back of the glass. And it is still, finally, Chapmanville's Brody Dalton comes up with it. Dalton has it back in his hands. A long jumper behind the free throw line. It will not go. Rebound, Chapmanville's Isaiah Fleming. He puts it back up for a quick 2.
And he came in and knocked down a couple of threes late in that game against Polka. He's another one that can be an outside threat.
Chapmanville almost stole the ball. Now they do, as Smith gets a hold of it, sends the ball down the floor to Dalton. Dalton now has control for the Tigers. Over to Workman. Workman just kind of holds the ball up in the air as he gets his team get it set. Here goes, once again, this time, Smith unloaded another 3. It kind of glided off the front of the rim, bounced off the back of the rim, and then it come down for a Wyoming East rebound.
Definitely a heat check moment there.
It would be Houck controlling the ball. Now he gets it to Cook, Tanner Cook. They just kind of work the ball around the outside between the circles. Nathan Parsons thought about it. Now here we go once again as Tanner Witten was going to the basket, and we have a whistle. Looks like Isaiah Smith will pick up his first personal.
Yeah, and he was in a bad spot there, got matched up on the baseline. And you don't typically want to give up the baseline, but Witten's got such good spin game, he could have just maneuvered right back in front of the rim that time. So Smith really had no choice but to reach in, try and get a steal or commit the foul.
Inbound Warriors, and they threw a bounce pass into Garrett Mitchell. The only thing was he didn't turn around and look for the ball.
Yeah, again, that's one of those first game errors that you make right there, Joe, not having the experience just yet of being in game action for nearly a year, and that was just an errant pass and a miscommunication.
Chapmanville controls it. They got some Fleming works it around into the hands of Brody Dalton. Dalton's trying to find an open hole. About a 8-foot jumper. He will take it off the rim. Rebound by Sam Leslie for the Tigers. Now it's back into the hands of Dalton. He'll spin around in the paint and put it down for 2.
God, he went from about the right wing to the middle of the basket in 2 moves right there.
Pressure being shown by the Tigers, and it almost paid off for him, but the Warriors finally beat it as they get the ball down the floor. Mitchell has control of the ball into the hands of Howard into the lineup for Wyoming East. Mitchell's going to take it to the bucket, about a 10-foot jumper, and he's going to draw the foul.
Yeah, it might have been Dalton or Leslie. Let's see who they get. They're going to get Leslie instead on that hack. And again, Chapmanville, if they play it smart on this offensive set, again, 33 seconds left. This is where you see the maturity of a team at the end of quarters. Can you protect the ball? Can you ensure that last shot and not give Wyoming East another look at it to try and cut into this lead before the half?
Mitchell's first shot is no good. trying to pick up his first points of the ball game. Second shot up, and it will be off the back of the glass. Rebound Chapmanville. Here comes Devin Workman with the ball. Brings it across the timeline. Over to Dalton. Back to Workman.
Wyoming East just conceding the last shot.
They're just going to take one shot here. Fleming comes out, gets his hand on it. Back to Dalton. 15 seconds.
Yeah, he wants Workman to come back over and get the ball here with 10 and start the offense.
And here we go, into the hands of Fleming. Back out to Workman. Fleming lets go with one. It's going to be just a little short. Rebound Tigers. They get a second shot over there by Leslie. It will not go, and that will end the first half of play.
Again, here at the half, it is Chapmanville nearly doubling up Wyoming East 25-13, and a little bit of a surprise to some people as Wyoming East coming in with more experience this year, more talent, but thus far struggling from the field in large part due to this tight Chapmanville defense. Joe and I will step aside for a 2-minute break, and when we come back, we'll run through the first half stats and analysis for you here from Danny Godby Gymnasium as you are listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger basketball action with us right here live on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Our world has changed a lot in a short time, but your health and safety remains our #1 priority. We have the supplies needed and processes in place to keep you safe. We've implemented visitor restrictions, and we are reducing physical contact as much as possible. Patients and employees are required to wear masks for your protection and theirs, and your care team is screened daily. So don't wait to get the care that you need. Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider. And 2020 makes it 45 years of offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They're the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, and Logan with its own crematory. Contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
Peyton, what are we doing here?
Welcome to Peytonville. Nationwide helps protect everything you see in here, Brad. Every family, every business, even Mrs. Hoffman's dream of retiring to become a yoga instructor.
Oh, they have backstories.
Here, I got more to show you.
Did you know when you send or receive a text message, you take your eyes off the road for 5 seconds? At 55 miles per hour, that's like driving more than the length of a football field blindfolded. As a result, thousands of people die every year in crashes related to distracted driving. That's why we're cracking down on people who text or use their smartphones while driving. We would rather you cross the goal line alive. Law enforcement officers write tickets to save lives. Don't text and
25-13, the two-time defending Class AA state champions in the lead here at the half over Wyoming East. Chris Kidd and Joe Linville here with you, with Joe Mounts, our engineer on Video Productions, with Terry Buckley, our engineer, back in the WVOW studios. And just a reminder, this game brought to you by Nationwide Insurance Agent, as Greg Dalton is a proud supporter of Chapmanville Regional High School Athletics and the community of Logan County. For auto, home, life, and business insurance, call the Greg Dalton Agency at 304-855-4906. Greg Dalton Insurance, with offices on Main Street in Chapmanville and Main Street in Logan. For all your sides, there is Nationwide. This is WVOW Logan. And Joe, in the first half, you know, I talked about it with you for a little bit before we went on the air about how this Chapmanville team was against Polka. You know, talk about getting thrown into the fire against the #1 team in the state with a brand new group basically coming in, or at least a young group coming in. And I told you they look scrappy, they look tough-minded, they look like they're going to be more defensive-oriented. Tell me what your assessment was of the first half, seeing this new look Chapmanville team for the first time.
I liked what I saw. You know, they missed a lot of shots, but then they made some nice shots, especially as Isaiah Smith, when he got hot from outside the arc. I mean, he drilled three, just bam, 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 and threw Chapmanville 9 points on the board. But then you got to look at Brody Dalton. He's coming in there. He was an early aggressor under the bucket, scored 6 in the first quarter, added 4 more there in the second. So the scoring has been on the inside and the outside, and I believe that's been the key to Chapmanville's success so far in this game. I think once they, get that first game under the belt, settle down just a little bit, Coach Brad Napper and his Tigers will be in good shape for the season.
Yeah, and again, you mentioned Dalton and Isaiah Smith. Those are the only two that really saw significant playing time last year out of the roster that's still here. I mean, Craddock and the rest, Butcher, I mean, they saw a little bit of game time late in some games at the end of some blowouts on varsity level just to get them some of that experience, but they mostly played JV and lower. So, just seeing them come up to this level and be able to compete extremely competently in some pressure situations right off the bat, being on a two-time defending state championship club, speaks volumes for this supporting cast as well.
I mean, how do you feel that the voids of Obina Anachili Killen and Andrew Scholl and Chase Berry and Philip Mullins? I mean, that four right there, was the key to the offense last season for this Tiger team, and it's just, it's just pretty much throw out the playbook and reinvent it for this season for Coach Brad Napper.
And I think it'll be a team it'll be a different one each night that steps up for them. I think you'll see Smith and Dalton consistently get theirs, but, I think that third player that steps up or fourth player that steps up, you're going to see a different role player step up each time for Chapmanville, and I think they're okay with that right now because it seems like a very unselfish club. They're not out there trying to, just heave up shots left and right. They're looking for the best shot. They're sharing the ball very effectively, and most importantly, not turning the ball over that much. I thought they protected the ball very well in the first 6 quarters of action.
Chris, I do want to go back. It was actually 1 year ago this week when the plug was pulled on the tournament. The girls were right in the middle of their tournament.
Yeah.
Chapmanville had already won the regional, and Logan and Polka were set to see who the other team out of this region would be to go to Charleston, and then bam, what kind of taste does that leave in these players' mouth, knowing where they were at, how close they were, and it's just like getting the rug jerked out from under you.
Yeah, I mean, just being around a lot of the kids after it happened, I mean, we all were hopeful and even thought that this would just be a couple of weeks delay.
Right.
I think like everyone did when it first happened. I think after about a week or so, we all kind of realized that this is going to be much more serious than we first imagined, and, just the helplessness of it, I think, is what was so frustrating, is that there was just really nothing you could do. It was just completely out of your control. And I think right now, just the fact that they get a chance to get back out here, a chance to compete, I mean, the hunger just to be able to do what you love again, I think it gave us all a new perspective as to how much we care about the jobs we get to do, the fact that you get to play and compete at a high level in this situation. So I think that it's more about just getting the chance to enjoy yourself again and feel that sense of normalcy just once more.
But the Chapmanville community had that three-peat, on their mind. I mean, and had a legitimate shot at it, and it just went away. At least those boys got to play, got their regular season in. But then you go to baseball, softball, some of those other spring sports, they didn't even get on the field.
Yeah, for instance, I coached tennis down here at Chapmanville as well, and, we had 7 seniors that, I'd coached for 7 years that didn't get a chance to finish out what they had started, and I know it left a bitter taste in a lot of their mouths, but, I just told them, hey, some things in life are out of our control, and we just have to learn whatever lesson we can. I said, I can't tell you that I know exactly what that lesson is now, but I said there's always a reason for things, and there's always something good that comes out of them in the long run. But here at the half, it is Chapmanville leading Wyoming East 25-13. Joe and I will step aside for a 2-minute break, and we'll be back for the start of quarter number 3 right after this, as you are listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger basketball action with us right here live on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on video production.
Accidents, illness, heart attacks, strokes. When an emergency strikes, count on Logan Regional Medical Center. We're here providing emergency care 24/7. Including the higher levels of emergency heart care found in our accredited chest pain center, and our enhanced cleaning, mask requirements, and social distancing to help keep you safe. Emergency care at Logan Regional Medical Center. When minutes matter, count on us.
Community strong. We are Thornhill Ford Lincoln, your hometown dealer located on 119 near Chapmanville. Go Thornhill and expect the best with total value, support, and savings on your next vehicle. Don't miss out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and thornhillford.net.
I'm Stuart Caldwell. For more than 40 years, I and my firm have vindicated the rights of individuals hurt by defective drugs, defective chemicals, and other products. Now I'm teaming with Booth, to take on the big drug companies to vindicate the rights of children born with NAS. There are significant legal proceedings that could affect you and your child's legal rights.
If you're the parent or guardian of a child who you believe was born dependent on opioids, you need to act now.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs sent you.
I'm your 70-pound St. Bernard puppy, and my lack of impulse control is about to become your problem.
No, come on. I saw you eating poop earlier. My focus is on the road, and that's saving me cash with DriveWise.
Always here for you, Thornhill GM Superstore. Expect the best, get even more with our new Thornhill Value Plus warranty. 10 years, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on most all vehicles. Get in on all the savings. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and ThornhillGMSuperstore.com.
25-13 Chapmanville Tigers as we get ready to start quarter number 3 as they are taking on the Wyoming East Warriors here from Danny Gobby Gymnasium. In the first half, leading all scorers was Isaiah Smith with 11 points, Brody Dalton with 10, Colton Craddock and Isaiah Fleming with 2 each. On the other end for Wyoming East, Tanner Witten leading the way with 11, Tucker Cook with 2 to round out the scoring. And for the call of the second half, send things back now to Joe Linville. Joe.
Thank you very much, Chris. Looks like we're about ready to go get underway, as the possession there is in favor of the Wyoming East Warriors. They inbound it. Now they'll be going to our right as the Warriors have control of the ball. It is Garrett Mitchell out between the circles. He's being pressured hard by Smith of Chapmanville. Now they get it into the hands of Tanner Whitten. He'll go out and try to find a hole. He just works it back and forth. Now he gets it over to York. York over to Cook. Mitchell thought about trying the three-pointer from the top of the key. With that Tiger defense, they thought better of it. Now they get inside the paint just outside the free throw line. Once again, Chase York takes a shot. It will not go, and we have a reach-over foul. And I believe that went against Garrett Mitchell, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looks as if that's who they got. Or actually, it looks like Whitten that they got. Yeah, him and Mitchell were both in the area, but that was good ball movement. But Chapmanville did a great job switching that time and keeping everything in front of them and forcing a difficult shot once more.
Tigers quickly brings the ball down the floor. Over to the near side wing, it will be Workman down to the corner to Smith back out to the top of the key to Craddock. Craddock with control of the ball. Now quickly from Workman to the corner to Dalton. Now they get it back out to the top of the key. Work around the horn. It is a three-point attempt by Trey Butcher. It will not go. Tigers rebounded, and as Brody Dalton was going back to the basket, he was fouled. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
And that was excellent footwork as well there by Dalton. Again, he was able to hold that pivot foot, work his way back into the lane, and really gave no choice there to Cook but to hack him because he was going to have an easy layup on the right block. And again, just those long legs and the athleticism and the agility of Dalton just plays so much dividends on this end of the floor.
First free throw is up, and it is good for Dalton. It's his first attempt from the free throw line in tonight's game.
And he was 8 of 11 from the line against Polka the other night.
Second shot up is good. I like those neon pink, or I don't know what, I guess those are like a bright.
They're glow in the dark.
Yeah, there's a couple of pair of those out there. Full court pressure once again being applied by the Tigers. And this time the Warriors have trouble getting loose. They fire the ball down the floor. The receiving man down there, Whitten, cannot get a hold of it, goes out of bounds. Chapmanville Tiger basketball.
And that was Colton Craddock there on the defensive side again, was able to reach around, get that hand up, get the deflection, and cause Wyoming East to touch it last.
Tigers get it down in to shooting territory. Now they'll back it out as Isaiah Smith backs up almost to the half-court line as the Tigers offense reset over to Craddock. Craddock gets it into the hands of Butcher, and the Tigers cough it up. Here come the Warriors. It's going to be York once again. He's going to the basket, and he finally gets one off the glass. His first points of the ball game after about 35 attempts.
Man, what a spin move he made to get those first two, so he made it count. That was a pretty move by York to cut into this lead.
Craddock with the ball. Now he gets it over to the top of the key to Dalton. Going to the basket is Dalton for 2 more.
And he showed off his strength that time, just bulldozed his way to that right side and had enough power to get it up over top of Whitten.
Defense is the key once again for the Tigers. That pressure being applied. Now the Warriors finally get it away. Here goes York. He wanted to go to the basket. Now they kick it back outside, and a Chandler Johnson drives it in the paint, puts it up, and we have a whistle.
And they're going to get a block that time on Butcher, and I thought that was the right call. Again, Butcher was trying to move there at the last second as number 23, Johnson, was trying to avoid him and ended up getting the blocking foul and a chance for an N1.
And it's up, and it's good.
So again, now you're starting to see a few more get into the scorebook here. Again, it was just Witten and Cook in the first half, and that's what Wyoming East is going to have here in the second half. It can't just be the Witten show here in the second half if they're going to get back into this.
Tigers control it, setting up their offense. Craddock has it. He fakes shot, pumps it, goes to the basket, rolls around the rim, will not go. Rebound by Wyoming's Chandler Johnson, and he pulled that one down hard. Here come the Warriors. York's going to take it. He'll spin, a little short jumper. Couple of bounces off the rim, will not go. Rebound, Chapmanville. Rebound by Chapmanville's Isaiah Smith. Then it was pulled down in a little scuffle on the floor.
And they're going to give that a jump ball, and that was really quick jump ball there. And
I thought it was a foul.
Yeah, it was favorable for Chapmanville because it looked like Wyoming East was very close to regaining possession, and the possession does go to Chapmanville.
Workman brings the ball down, puts it into the hands across the way to Craddock. Once again, Dalton thought about taking one from the free throw line. They lost it, but they pulled the handle back in. Nice move down there by Dalton as he just took his hand and knocked it over to Craddock. Now they take it around the horn a couple times. Reset with Workman out at the top of the key. To the near side to Smith. Craddock once again at the top of the key. Kind of little jib-jab move. Now he's going all the way to the paint. Off the glass, rolls off the front of the rim, and it's going to be a Tucker Cook rebound for the Warriors. The ball was going out of bounds over there. Smith tried to get it back in and missed a little, I think it was a blocked shot there, partially blocked.
I think
York thought he was fouled, but it's...
Yeah, it looked like Craddock got a piece of that on that end. Yeah, it was Workman that tried to save that ball after he deflected away on the near side, but wisely getting away from it was Mitchell. But then once they worked it down low, Craddock was able to get the deflection on the turnaround, and Chapmanville once again was stealthy defense.
Workman brings the ball down the floor. Craddock has it on the outside wing on the far side. Workman comes around, set up once again as Dalton gets it, takes a couple dribbles. Smith thought about it from three-point line to the near side. They get it inside, and a whistle as Zion Blevins goes for the basket, and he's fouled.
Yeah, it looked like Cook reached in that time. Blevins had good position in that scenario, and once he adds probably a little bit more bulk and weight, which I imagine they'll have him in the weight room too. Again, he's slender, but he's quick and he's agile, and if they add a little bit more bulk to him like what you saw with Obina over the years, he's going to be a big force down low, because right there you see it on the free throw, just excellent touch for a 6'6" man.
Blevins picks up his first point of the ball game, and we have a substitution as Mason Houck comes in.
And Blevins the other night was 6 for 6 from the free throw line, so we'll see how that holds up now that I've mentioned it. But all of them cleanly through the other night.
The second shot up, nice arch right through the net. 2 points now for Blevins. Tigers go right back to work on defense, putting the pressure on. They get it in the hands of York quickly down the floor. Here come the Warriors over across the way.
Ooh.
And a blocking foul charged against the Tigers under the basket.
Yeah, and again, Smith took the brunt of that as it looked like Houck kind of threw out his arm that time, and Smith ran into it, so he's okay, but he's the one that picks up the foul as well.
It's going to be his second personal. Team foul number 2 here in the half. East inbounded under their own basket. They get it outside. Mitchell taking it for the three-point shot.
Yeah, it looked like Workman fell down that time. We're going to get a whistle and a foul and a push against Wyoming East after the fact. So I guess that's why Workman was on the turf afterwards, and they're going to get Houck on that push. So that's going to put Chapmanville now that'll be team foul, I think, number 5 against Wyoming East. So, man, it's going to put Chapmanville close to the 1-1 still with 3:31 left in the third quarter.
Officials are still talking this one over. Now one of the officials coming over to talk things over with Coach. Well, I thought he was coming over to talk to Coach Brad Napper. Now they kind of exchange words down there, explaining the situation. Tigers bring the ball down the full length of the floor. Over to the near side to Blevins. Now to the corner to Smith. They tried to get it as Blevins moved under the basket. They tried to get it in. He was the ball was thrown out in front of him. He couldn't hang on to it out of bounds. Turned over to the Warriors.
It looked like Houck got a piece of that and just threw off the timing on that entry pass, and it goes off Blevins.
Tigers once again putting the defense on heavy. Into the hands of Whitten. He easily, just a little quick bounce into the basket for 2 more. That's his first points of the half.
You got 13 now, and now Wyoming East trims this down below 10. They've got it to 8. Brad Napper's going to let his young club play through some of this adversity.
Workman try to work it into Dalton. Dalton goes and a blocking foul as Dalton was going to the basket. He'll go to the free throw line and shoot 2. It's going to be charged against Chase York. I think that's his 3rd.
Yeah, that's going to be number 3 on him now, one of their top defensive players and big offense and defensive rebounder as well, so he's going to have to watch himself here with still a little under 3 minutes to go in the third.
First shot up for Dalton is good. He's 3 for 3 now from the free throw line.
He's got 15 now for the game, so he's been getting his in small increments this quarter, but this will have a chance to push this back above 10, and just Brad Napper wanting to see how his young club responds in these pressure spots, and right here, good little gut check for them.
Second shot no good, but on the rebound, the officials say it's a tie-up between Craddock and Whitten, and on the possession there, it will be East ball. Pressure working very good. Almost didn't get it back in. They're still way behind the timeline. Here they come down the floor. Double team. They finally get it across over to Houck. And a quick shot and 2 points for Whitten.
Now lead down to 7 as Wyoming East continues to battle back here. They've had to exert a lot of fouls and a lot of energy here, but now they're very much within striking distance.
Over to Dalton. Dalton takes it. Oh, they're saying Dalton's walk. He started moving before he dribbled the ball, and the official was all over it right there in front of him.
And you can hear some of the sarcastic cheers coming from the Wyoming East section. They definitely feel like the calls have been one-sided here in the second half thus far, 16 fouls to 2 in favor of Chapmanville's side. So you got our first sarcastic jeer of the season.
Yeah, they're not going to drive down here and be quiet.
No, not at all.
Finally across the timeline for Wyoming East to get it to the near side. Mitchell kicks it back out to the top of the key to Tucker Cook rather. And a pass right through the hands of Garrett Mitchell. Couldn't find the handle, and the turnover goes to the Tigers.
Yes, again, we've seen stretches in the game where both teams have executed well, and then other stages where you can tell it's early season basketball still, and right there just a tough turnover for Wyoming East, and now Brad Napper wanting to call time here and get his team reset, so a 30-second timeout, and we'll keep things here. But again, it's just been kind of a slow build here in this third quarter. It seems like Chapmanville's been in control, but Wyoming East just keeps slowly, methodically getting back into this.
Yeah, the first half just seemed really fast-paced, but the third quarters, they seem like they've kind of slowed things down real quick. Got a little bit of trivia. This is from Wyoming East, Tanner Whitten, who we've talked about quite a bit. His dad, Darren, has a Wyoming County record with 74 points in a game back in 1984. That was the same week that Mullins' Herbie Brooks, who happens to be one of the assistant coaches on this Wyoming East team, had 60 points, and a game when Pineville's Brian McKinney had 71. That was all in the same week back in 1984.
So I don't think they're going to be very impressed with my career high of 7. And, I mean, at least I have one of the numbers they had.
I think I had 2 career high. I was a bench warmer. I didn't play much.
We combine ours. We had it.
Chapmanville inbounds it after the timeout. Jumper from the free throw line for Dalton. It will not go. And the ball.
What?
Okay, the official, he signaled Chapmanville ball, and I thought these Wyoming East fans were going to come unglued. He realized he made he pointed the wrong direction. So
yeah, Craddock literally fell out of bounds with the ball.
His mind was still in the first half. So
I was going to say, if that's the case, I can't really fault the Wyoming East fans for getting out.
That would have been a ride, I guarantee it. So, all right, Wyoming tries to get it set up. Whitten back and forth. It's into the Johnson thought about it. Back over to Mitchell to the near side outside the wing. Now going to the basket is Whitten. He'll take it off the glass. It will not go. Second got his own rebound. Second shot will not go. Here come the Tigers.
Wow, just so many balls rolling off, rattling out of Wyoming East tonight.
Nice move there by Dalton, but it will not fall. Dalton come into the lane, and his lane was blocked, so he did a 360 come around the left side, but the ball would not go.
And again, a great move that time by Dalton. You see the shot he was able to get, very makeable. And I think as the year goes along, those will go down a lot more for him. But again, both teams just struggling offensively right now to find any rhythm.
In that play, Colton Craddock for Chapmanville picked up his third personal. Ball goes out of bounds on the far side of the floor. It was deflected out by the Tigers. Warriors will inbound it. Tucker Cook has control of the ball. And another reach in. This time it's going to be Workman. He'll pick up his first personal.
And it looks like we're heading towards a fourth quarter full of free throws at this moment. He's going to bring Trey Butcher back into the game here. And Smith's going to go to the bench and get a breather here for the final minute of the third quarter.
Hail Mary across the floor, wide open on the near side. Three-pointer is good by Mason Houck for the Warriors. First points of the game for him.
And again, only one field goal here in the third quarter for Chapmanville. The other 5 points coming from the line. They just haven't been able to find it offensively here in the third. Need a good possession here.
We have a 4-point game, and you can hear these Wyoming East fans. They have something to cheer about. And going to the lane is Dalton. He can't find anybody open. Pass deflected, and it is on the turnover. Here come the Warriors quickly down the floor. They get it across the way to Whitten. He'll take a three-point shot off the front of the rim, gets his own rebound, takes a couple more dribbles, tries to put one off the glass. It will not go. Gets a third rebound. Now he kicks it back out to reset. Comes across the way to Mitchell. Mitchell drives into the paint, little floater. It will not go off the back of the rim. Finally, Dalton brings it down on the rebound. Tiger basketball.
They got 6 seconds here. They got to go.
Dalton will take it. It'll be off the rim, and that'll be the end of the third quarter play. Wow. The pace really picked up for that last minute. At the end of 3 quarters of play, it's the Chapmanville Tigers 32, Wyoming East Warriors 28. You're listening to Tiger Basketball on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and on Video Productions.
General Stores knows West Virginia, but what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100+ stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
No regrets.
If only she'd parked in a garage. If only they had the chimney cleaned. If only they had Erie Insurance. Erie is seriously good insurance that treats you fairly and goes above and beyond to make you feel like your auto or home mishap never happened. At rates that'll save you as much as the other guys. So get a quote from Erie today. Because whatever your regrets in life, your insurance company shouldn't be one of them.
Back at Danny Godby Gym as we begin the fourth quarter of play. We've got a 4-point ball game after Chapmanville had a comfortable lead earlier, and the Warriors keep scratching their way back into this one. Tigers have the ball on their own end of the floor. They try to work things in. Craddock gets it over to the near side to Smith. He'll pull the trigger for a three.
Again, disappeared in the third quarter, but comes right out to start the fourth. Kansas 4-3 of the game and much needed for Chapmanville.
Warriors, the Tiger pressure almost paid off, and it does. Here comes Chapmanville with the ball. Bringing the ball down the floor is Trey Butcher. He'll take it all the way to the glass for a quick 2.
And again, nice job by Smith screening on that layup as well in order to make sure Butcher got there for the easy deuce. And quick 5-0 start for Chapmanville in the fourth.
Chapmanville forces Warriors take the ball all the way back out to half court. Driving under the basket is Johnson.
Oh, one called block, one called charge.
And Alan Settle says he has the call. It was a block. We have a Warrior down on the floor.
Yeah, I think he took one.
I think he's frustrated.
Yeah, I think he took one in a tough area, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. That'll be his third personal.
And so they're going to get that one on Fleming, it appears. But right now Johnson just trying to get his bearings back. We've all been there, and it's not a picnic. And I'm guessing he might have caught a knee.
You can see the pain in his eyes, as the old saying goes.
Well, this will be an interesting first free throw.
Johnson will put it up off the back of the rim. It will not go. So the Warriors remain scoreless here in the fourth after a quick 5 points by the Tigers. Just a minute, eat off the clock. Second shot will go. He has 3 points in the ball game for the Warriors. Here comes Chapmanville. Devin Workman brings the ball single-handedly down the floor, across the way to Craddock. Craddock just stands there, kind of waits on Workman to make the move. Over to the near side to Smith. Back out to the top of the key to Craddock. Now they go to Workman and the wing. He's at the foul line driving the paint. Kicks it back out to Smith. Smith finds a little open hole. Now he kicks it back out to Butcher. Back out to the top of the key to Craddock. Workman has it. Over to Smith. They pass down underneath the basket. Can't make anything happen. Now they send it back out between the circles to Craddock to make something happen and reset the offense.
Well, if I'm Chapmanville, I'm staying patient right now. You got an 8-point lead. You protected the ball fairly well with this type of offense. Wait for an opening.
Craddock drives to the basket, puts it up too hard off the glass. Rebound Wyoming. East, and going coast to coast was Garrett Mitchell. He could not make it go, but Whitten comes in, picks up the rebound, and scores the bucket.
And again, it was a great drive by Craddock that time, just way too strong off the glass. Just got to use a little bit of touch off that in order to get that in. He's been close to scoring 10, 12 points tonight, just hasn't been able to buy one.
Workman just stands out near half court, dribbling the ball. Now they set it. Get it into Craddock, the top of the key, goes to the far side, back to Dalton. Dalton to Butcher at the free throw line. Now they kick it back out to the far side to Smith. Smith takes a couple bounces and a whistle. Timeout, Brad Napper and the Tigers. Full timeout. We'll take a quick timeout as well. You're listening to Chapmanville Tiger Basketball on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports station, and on Video Productions.
America built Ford proud. Thornhill Ford Lincoln is proud to offer you our all-new Thornhill Value Plus warranty, giving you 10 years, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on most all vehicles. Get going. The road to total savings starts with Thornhill.
Accidents, illness, heart attacks, strokes. When an emergency strikes, count on Logan Regional Medical Center. We're here providing emergency care 24/7. Including the higher levels of emergency heart care found in our accredited chest pain center, and our enhanced cleaning, mask requirements, and social distancing to help keep you safe. Emergency care at Logan Regional Medical Center. When minutes matter, count on us.
The road to total savings starts here, Thornhill GM Superstore. Find new roads to 119 in Chapmanville, your hometown full-service Buick, Chevy, GMC dealer. We are professional grade and community strong. Expect the best and save thousands with Thornhill.
Back at Chapmanville as the Tigers lead this one 37-31, 5:27 to go in the ball game. Tigers control the ball. They'll inbound it in front of the scoring stand into the hands of Brody Dalton. He tries to put one up. It will not go. Here comes the Warriors with the rebound. It's going to be coast to coast for York. They'll get it down the corner of Johnson. Now they kick it back out to the far side to Tucker Cook off the front of the rim. The three-pointer will not go. Rebound underneath by Garrett Mitchell. Finally, he makes it fall. It'll be his second bucket of the ball game.
And right now, Wyoming East just really killing Chapmanville on the offensive glass. They've gotten so many second chance opportunities. here in the second half.
Warriors pull it back within 4. Tigers control it. Out to the top of the key to Craddock, to the near side to the Workman. Back out to Craddock. Craddock trying to find a hole now. They'll get it over to Butcher. Butcher thought about it, and it is stolen by the Warriors. The green and white have it as they bring the ball down the floor. Garrett Mitchell controls it. Now they get it over to Tucker Cook. Tucker over to York. York drives to the top of the key, goes into the paint, off the glass, off the front of the rim. It'll not go. Rebound, Chapmanville's Dalton.
And again, that's just the type of night it's been for Chase York on the offensive end. Just can't buy one with a $100 bill tonight.
Craddock resets the offense, and Coach Napper wants to take a timeout and talk things over.
And again, we got 4:14 to play right now. 4-point Chapmanville lead. They've led, I believe, wire to wire in this ball game. But again, the offense has just been stagnant here in the second half. Overall, just 12 points for Chapmanville here in the second frame. And they've got to find a couple of possessions here to try and free up Smith or to get Dalton where he doesn't have a double team. They just haven't been able to get any other scoring. And Craddock's been close to getting going in this game. Just can't get anything to drop, much like Chase York. But someone else is going to have to step up here and knock down a shot to try and free up Dalton and Smith here down the stretch.
The killer for Chapmanville so far tonight was that third quarter as they were outscored 15-7 by Wyoming East.
Yeah, that's what allowed Wyoming East to get back into the game after Chapmanville had extended that lead to about 14 and looked like they might have a chance to run away with this. But this Wyoming East club, again, very scrappy, very tough, and they're going to continue to fight like a dog right till the end. I mean, they have got a lot of hungry young players trying to avenge that 7-17 season a year ago.
4 points is all that separates these two teams on the scoreboard. Tigers control it. Isaiah Fleming back into the lineup for Chapmanville. Over to the near side of Smith. He'll dribble around to the top of the key, kicks it over to Workman. Workman back away to Brody Dalton. Dalton thought he was going to the glass. We find Fleming wide open on the three-point shot. Rebound. Fleming gets his own rebound. Bounce pass into Smith. They get it under the basket to Dalton. Now they kick it back out and around the horn. Smith will has it, kicks it over to Workman. Workman finds a little hole, little stutter step move. It'll bounce off the back of the rim. Rebound, Wyoming East.
Boy, and yet two really good looks for Workman and Fleming that time. Neither one of them could execute.
Mitchell pulls the trigger on the three-pointer, and he will make it go quickly down the floor. He now has 5 points here in the fourth quarter.
That's his second three of the second half, and Wyoming East as close as they've been since the opening tip.
1 point game now. Tigers must settle down and control this ball and make the effort pay off this time. No. Brody Dalton has it. They find wide open under the basket Isaiah Fleming. He'll put it up off the glass for an easy two.
That was a great wraparound pass there out of that double team by Brody Dalton to find Fleming wide open.
Chase York has the ball for Wyoming East. He almost fell down. He was trying to make the move this pass. Mitchell has it over to Johnson in the corner. York has it. Little Tim, he'll make the basket, but he'll be whistled for a charge.
And that is number 5 on Chase York. He's fouled out of this game as well. And again, after he made a bucket, which has been scarce for him tonight after so many good looks, he goes out on another charge. The second time in the game he's picked up a charge.
He had so many opportunities, especially early in this game, to score points, and he just couldn't find it. He couldn't buy a basket, as the old saying goes. And now his efforts will go to the bench as he fouls out of this one with 2:38 to go. Chapmanville up by 3, 39-36. Here comes the Tigers. Workman bringing the ball down the floor. Bounce pass over to Craddock. Craddock stands, holds the ball up in the air. Now he takes some dribbles, goes around the arc to the other side of the floor. Back to Devin Workman to the near side to Fleming. Bounce pass into Dalton. Dalton brings it back out to the top of the key at the free throw line. Now he steps back out of it, continues to dribble. Now Craddock tries to get something going for the Tiger offense. Kicks it across the way to Workman. Over to the near side to Fleming. Fleming thought about pulling the trigger on the three. Thinks better of it. Back to Craddock, back to Dalton. Dalton bounces it out as they come back out between the circles for the reset. Fleming has it, kicks it quickly to Craddock to the near side, outside the arc. Chapmanville just trying to burn up some clock here. Just back and forth. Craddock has it. He found a little hole, kicks it back outside to Smith. Smith pulls the trigger off the front of the rim. It will not go. And the ball, it's going to go to Wyoming East. They both were battling, trying to either bounce it off each other or kick it back in bounds. It went out of bounds. Neither one of them could find the handle. And Alan Settle was right there, the official, and he says it's Wyoming East basketball.
And that was good eye by the official. That was barely clipped off Dalton's back at the last second.
Tiger defense forces the Warriors to strategically get the ball down the floor. Now it goes over to Mitchell. Mitchell goes to the far corner to Whitten. Whitten takes a little jumper, and he will make it go. I don't know how. He was almost horizontal or about a 45-degree angle, but when he shot that one, I don't know how he made it, but it went.
There's 19 for the game now, and Chapmanville closing in on a minute to play. Brad Napper wants to talk it over with his club. And it'll be a full timeout, so we'll step aside as well, Joe, and be back after this. You're watching Tiger basketball action right here live on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
We're Climate Campbell. We pride ourselves on providing classic service.
You get a firm that's concerned about you, your family, as well as the legal process.
We combine the newest technology and digital tools.
With our 35 years of experience,
to help you get more than the insurance company wants to offer.
Traditional service,
contemporary techniques.
It'll never go out of style.
Call 346-5990.
Steve, is that your car?
No, it's a rental.
Did you know when you send or receive a text message, you take your eyes off the road for 5 seconds? At 55 miles per hour, that's like driving more than the length of a football field blindfolded. As a result, thousands of people die every year in crashes related to distracted driving. That's why we're cracking down on people who text or use their smartphones while driving. We would rather you cross the goal line alive. Law enforcement officers write tickets to save lives. Don't text and drive.
1 minute, 2 seconds will decide this one. We have a 1-point game. Tigers up 39-38. Tiger basketball. They bringing it down the floor. Devin Workman has it. Over to the near side to Smith. Smith takes a bounce back to Dalton. Dalton at the top of the key. Back to the near side to Smith. Smith bounces around, goes to the other side of the wing. Now he gets it over to Craddock. Craddock comes outside. Now to Fleming. Fleming will bounce it around and go back and forth. And they're saying Fleming double dribbled. That'll turn the ball over to Wyoming East. They've got a chance to take the lead here with 39 seconds to go. And they're going to take a timeout as well.
We'll keep things here, Joe, with 39 seconds left. Yeah, that was a good call. Fleming looked like he was bringing the ball up and then thought against it right after he had brought the ball in his other hand, and the official caught it. And right there, Chapmanville was trying to run clock. Wyoming East was trying to play defense, get the turnover. Chapmanville's in the 1-and-1. I thought they might try and foul Craddock or Fleming since they hadn't been to the line tonight and try and test them out up there, but they held off just a little longer and ended up paying off for Wyoming East. They've not led yet in this ball game, to my knowledge, Joe, unless it happened very, very early in this game. Chapmanville's led wire to wire, so they got the chance to take their first lead here.
Yeah, here in the fourth quarter, it's Chapmanville struggled to find baskets. They've only got 3 goals, 3 and 2 twos, and that's called off. It's 10-7 scoring-wise in the fourth quarter, which has allowed Wyoming East to get back in this ball game.
And 11 field goals in the first half for Chapmanville, only 4 thus far here in the second half. So Wyoming East did a very good job of really starting to put the clamps down on Dalton and Smith and try and force anyone else to beat them. Again, they combined for 21 in the first half. They've combined for 8 here in the second half. And thus far, nobody else has been able to buy a bucket for Chapmanville. Pretty much similar for Wyoming East.
39.2 seconds to score, 39-38. Warriors have the inbound on the far side of the floor. Pressure by the Tigers. It is Tucker Cuck with the ball. Now he gets it over to Tanner Whitten. Whitten to the near side to Nathan Parsons, who pulls the trigger. The ball will not go. And now the ball went off, deflection off Wyoming East. It'll be Tiger basketball.
And a good, strong rebound by Colton Craddock on the weak side after that ball came off. It was a great look for Wyoming East. Just couldn't knock it down. And then the deflection on the outlet pass, trying to get it baseline to Dalton. Now 24 seconds left here. Chapmanville's got to get this ball in, and they're going to call a timeout now. with 24.9 seconds left. I'd say Brad Napper's close to out of timeouts at this point. But Wyoming East now, how long do you wait in order to foul here?
Right.
I mean,
Derek Brooks, I mean, he's doing, he didn't like that out of bounds call. He was letting the official, he was out on the floor. He could have very easily picked up a technical on that, but the official said, hey, I got the call right. You go back to the bench and just kind of settle things down. But you're right. With 24 seconds, there's going to be a foul here somewhere.
Yeah, Chapmanville's just got to get the ball into their ball handlers' hands, try and make sure that, again, you got Craddock, Fleming, Dalton, all good ball handlers, Smith as well. So, again, Chapmanville does have the ability to get the ball up the floor without a whole lot of scarcity with it. But now it's really into Wyoming East hands. Who is it that you're looking to foul in this situation? I wouldn't look for Smith or Dalton at this point in time. Again, Dalton especially, since he's been to the line the most tonight. So if you're Wyoming East on the bench, you're trying to find someone that's a little cold, someone who hasn't had a whole lot of production on the offensive end tonight. See if they can hit that front end, and if they do, your hat's off to them. But I'd say you'll see Wyoming East at least go for the steal here for the first 4 or 5 seconds before they commit to a foul.
Good news for the Tigers, they are not in foul trouble. The deepest they go is Colton Craddock with 3. Otherwise, they're in good shape. They will inbound it on the Wyoming East end of the floor. Full court pressure now being applied by the Warriors. Inbound. Hail Mary pass down the floor. It's Craddock wide open. He'll go to the basket, and the basket will not go. He put too much. It went off the back of the rim. And coming in for the rebound is Dalton. And now we have a whistle, a foul on the floor. Looks like number 20 will be Nathan Parsons, charged with his first personal for Wyoming East.
And I think Brad Napper contesting that was goaltending because Wyoming East slapped the backboard on that layup attempt and deflected the trajectory of the ball on Craddock. But Brad Napper getting that explanation now. But Brody Dalton, great job trailing that play, getting the offensive board and burning some extra precious seconds off the clock. But now here's a crucial 1-on-1.
Shot is up, and it will not go by Butcher or Dalton. Here comes the Warriors back with the control of the ball. They get it across the way. They are running out of time. We have a whistle on the floor. Timeout, Wyoming East, with 8 seconds to go in the ball game. Full timeout. We'll just keep it here. Too much excitement.
And Johnson, I tell you what, he had a clear lane to the basket as soon as they called that timeout, and could have been a potential layup there, but instead wiped out. Now, important here as well, Joe, Chapmanville's got a foul to give. They've only got 5 team fouls right here, and if I'm Brad Napper, I'm making sure that I let them know that. Even if you just wait a second or two here, it gives Wyoming East less time to try and set up a play and to try and work the ball down low to Witten or someone else. So if I'm Brad Napper, that's one of the things, and I think he's doing that now. You see him mimicking the shooting motion, basically saying don't foul if they're in the act of shooting, but if they're on the ground, they get the ball in here, let them take a second or two, get the foul. That way they have to go with less time here with this last play.
Coach Derek Brooks props up from the middle of those green uniforms down on the floor, and he went over to his scorer and made sure he's got 1 timeout left in this ball game. 8 seconds to go. Chapmanville leads at 39-38. Both teams have a timeout. So it's coming right down to the wire for this game, the opener for the Warriors' second game of the season for the Tigers. Throw the ball into the back hook. Here comes Wyoming East. They spin it around to York, over to the near side to Parsons. They're running out of time, and they run out of time! Now the official.
Craddock fouled him, but the shot wasn't in the air. And I don't think there was any time left on the foul.
I don't think there was either. But the officials, they're going to the locker room. This game is over. Chapmanville prevails by a score of 39-38.
Wow, what an ending. Because Craddock more or less tackled the Wyoming East ball handler on that last play. Again, they had the foul to give, but there was no shot attempt, and he basically fouled him right there at the horn. And Brad Napper just telling his kids, let's head to the locker room and let's get out of here, get in the cars, and head back to the house.
Yeah, these Wyoming East fans, I mean, you can just see the look of shock on their face. They thought they would at least get a shot off, but the Tiger defense prevailed, and the ball game is over. Final score, Chapmanville 39, Wyoming East 38. We'll go ahead and take a break. We'll count up the scores, and we'll take a 2-minute break. We'll get the stats ready for you for the post-game show. Final score, Chapmanville 39, Wyoming East 38. You've been listening to Chapmanville Tiger Basketball on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports station, and on Video Productions.
Accidents, illness, heart attacks, strokes. When an emergency strikes, count on Logan Regional Medical Center. We're here providing emergency care 24/7, including the higher levels of emergency heart care found in our accredited chest pain center, and our enhanced cleaning, mask requirements, and social distancing to help keep you safe. Emergency care at Logan Regional Medical Center. When minutes matter, count on us.
Community strong. We are Thornhill Ford Lincoln, your hometown dealer located on 119 near Chapmanville. Go Thornhill and expect the best with total value, support, and savings on your next vehicle. Don't miss out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and thornhillford.net.
I'm Stuart Caldwell. For more than 40 years, I and my firm have vindicated the rights of individuals hurt by defective drugs, defective chemicals, and other products. Now I'm teaming with Booth to take on the big drug companies to vindicate the rights of children born with NAS. There are significant legal proceedings that could affect you and your child's legal rights.
If you're the parent or guardian of a child who you believe was born dependent on opioids, you need to act now.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs sent you.
I'm your 70-pound St. Bernard puppy, and my lack of impulse control is about to become your problem.
No, come on. I saw you eating poop earlier. My focus is on the road, and that's saving me cash with DriveWise.
Always here for you, Thornhill GM Superstore. Expect the best. Get even more with our new Thornhill Value Plus warranty. 10 years, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on most all vehicles. Get in on all the savings. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and thornhillgmsuperstore.com.
39-38, Chapmanville prevails tonight over the Wyoming East Warriors. Chris Kidd and Joe Linville here with you. And just a reminder that Nationwide Insurance agent Greg Dalton is a proud supporter of Chapmanville Regional Athletics and the community of Logan County. For auto, home, life, and business insurance, call the Greg Dalton Agency at 304-855-4906. Greg Dalton Insurance with offices on Main Street in Chapmanville and Main Street in Logan. For all your sides, there is Nationwide. This is WVOW Logan. And again, Joe, we were talking about the final possession there during the post-game break, or the first post-game break, and just it seemed like Wyoming East was preparing for a foul. With the foul Chapmanville had to give, Brad Napper flipped the script, decided not to foul, and Wyoming East just did not look prepared to run the play.
They just acted like they didn't know what to do. I mean, it was just like deer in the headlight look, and they just kind of froze, and the time ran out. There was only 8 seconds on the clock, and that was the end of the ball game.
Yeah, because honestly, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, when are they going to foul? When are they going to foul? And it didn't come. And then by the time it gets to 2 seconds, I mean, there's really nothing you can do if you're Wyoming East bench. You call time there. You set up a quick foul on the inbounds pass, take off more time. So it was just a situation where Brad Napper gambled, thought that maybe Wyoming East would be preparing for the foul. It turned out to be right. And Wyoming East, even if they would have gotten a shot off there at the end, it was going to be from a good 10 feet behind the three-point line. Yeah. And they just did not have an opportunity to really get a chance to try and get a game-winning score, and Chapmanville wins it, leading wire to wire.
Yeah, 39-38 final. I'll tell you what, it was an exciting ball game for the fans that came to watch, especially these Wyoming East fans that came over from New Richmond. Yeah. I mean, they thought they were down at the end of the half, and they just kept just a little bit, just inching back, and they were right back in it here within about a minute to go of the ball game.
Well, Joe and I will step aside for our final break. When we come back, we'll have a scoring recap for you as well as preview our upcoming games here on WVOW and on Video Productions as we move through what is going to be a long and hectic couple of months, but also going to be an extremely exciting couple of months here as we continue on the road to Charleston in 2021. You're listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger basketball action with us right here live on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Our world has changed a lot in a short time, but your health and safety remains our #1 priority. We have the supplies needed and processes in place to keep you safe. We've implemented visitor restrictions, and we are reducing physical contact as much as possible. Patients and employees are required to wear masks for your protection and theirs. and your care team is screened daily. So don't wait to get the care that you need. Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider. And 2020 makes it 45 years of offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They're the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, and Logan with its own crematory. Contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
Peyton, what are we doing here?
Welcome to Peytonville. Nationwide helps protect everything you see in here, Brad. Every family, every business, even Mrs. Hoffman's dream of retiring to become a yoga instructor.
Oh, they have backstories.
Here, I got more to show you.
Did you know when you send or receive a text message, you take your eyes off the road for 5 seconds? At 55 miles per hour, that's like driving more than the length of a football field blindfolded. As a result, thousands of people die every year in crashes related to distracted driving. That's why we're cracking down on people who text or use their smartphones while driving. We would rather you cross the goal line alive. Law enforcement officers write tickets to save lives. Don't text and
39-38, Chapmanville holds off the late Wyoming East run to get their first win of the season, move to 1-1, Wyoming East to 0-1 on the year. Chris Kidd and Joe Linville here with you. And Joe, run through the final scoring statistics here tonight for both clubs.
Let's first of all take a look at our visiting Wyoming East Warriors. Of course, it was Tanner Whitten, led all scoring with 19. Garrett Mitchell scored 8 in the second half for a total of 8. Chandler Johnson had 3 points in the ball game. Chase York with 2, Tucker Cook with 2, and Mason Houck hit a 3 there in the third quarter. Total of 38 points for the Warriors. Take a look at scoring for the Tigers. Colton Craddock had an early basket for his only 2 points in the ball game. Isaiah Smith lit it up there in the second quarter with 3 threes in a row. Then he hit another 3 in the fourth quarter for 14 points total. But all scoring for Chapmanville was led by Brody Dalton with 15 points, and all 15 of those coming in the first 3 quarters of this ball game. Trey Butcher added a couple. Isaiah Fleming come off the bench and added a bucket, as well as Zion Blevins. So the final score tonight, Chapmanville 39, Wyoming East 38.
And again, your temp control hot hand of the game award tonight goes to Brody Dalton and Isaiah Smith. Again, Smith, as you mentioned, with 14 points on 4 3-pointers. Brody Dalton with 15 points in this contest to help lead Chapmanville to this 1-point win. And if you want your home to be as warm as possible this winter, and now we head into spring, make sure you call Temp Control of Chapmanville for all of your heating and cooling needs. Again, Temp Control of Chapmanville here in Chapmanville, West Virginia. Well, again, both these teams are going to get back in action later this week. Wyoming East is going to host Mingo Central on Friday night. Chapmanville, I'll be back here on Friday night with Nathan Bush as they take on Nitro. It's going to be a tough contest. That Nitro club, they can put up a ton of points, beat Ripley 92-53 already at the start of this season, so they've got a lot of talent, a lot of people that can fill it up in a hurry, and Chapmanville's going to have their hands full all over again on Friday night.
You know, after this game tonight, Chapmanville continues to ride that momentum. Now they're 2-0, but now they got to take it up a notch.
Mm-hmm.
They I think they were on cruise control in the second half tonight. They only scored 14 points in the second half after scoring 15 in the second quarter alone. So Brad Napper's got to get out here the next couple of days, work with these guys, and just, they're going to have to concentrate, especially on them close off the glass and the short jumpers as well. Get that ball to the inside.
Yeah, again, both teams left a lot of points on the board tonight, but it was Chapmanville that was able to hang on and come away with a 39-38 win this evening. And again, join us also on Thursday night this week as we've got a huge tilt between the old rivals. The Logan Wildcats going to be hosting the Polka Dots, now both in different phases, with Polka still in AA, Logan back in AAA. But nevertheless, the hard feelings and bad blood still there between those programs.
I guarantee it.
Oh, it'll be a barn burner where they didn't get to sell the score in the regional finals last year, but they get a chance to settle a score here in the early stages of this year. So again, join Nathan Bush and I at 7:30 for the call of that game.
Would you like my notebook from a year ago? I've still got the folder. I did more game prep on that game, the Logan Poca rematch at Poca, and I was sick when they announced that afternoon that game was not going to go down. I was literally sick. I've still got the check for the SSAC, and it's all in the folder, about an inch thick. But anyway, it should be a grand of a ball game come Thursday night.
Well, while we see if Joe's able to cash that check sometime soon.
I'm sure Jay's already put a stop on it.
But it will be. That'll be a fun game to have, and I know that we're going to have a lot of fun ones coming up the rest of this year on WVOW and on video production, so make sure you stay tuned for all of the changes if need be. Like I said, we were supposed to be in man initially tonight on WVOW. Unfortunately, things were able to work out to where we were able to be down here and bring you a really fun ball game here tonight. As the Chapmanville Tigers hang on to defeat the Wyoming East Warriors 39-38. For Joe Mounts with us here, engineering on video productions, Terry Bucklew, engineering back in the WVOW studios. For Joe Linville, I'm Chris Kidd saying so long tonight here from Danny Godby Gymnasium in Chapmanville, West Virginia, as you have been listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger basketball action with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on video productions.